Excuse me, sir, I'm gonna have to see your permit.
Kids. It's not often you find such raw intensity in a human being. I'd strike fear into the hearts of loiterers and trespassers alike. But without perps to take down, my hours on the clock tend to be quiet. Maybe too quiet.
Hi, I'm Dodger, and welcome to this week's Polaris Mobile Countdown. If you're like Tilly, and you find yourself with a quiet moment filled with the sweet taste of justice, maybe it's about time you treated yourself to a few games. We've got 3 great ones to talk about this week. We've got Swords and Arrows, Sine Mora, and Breach and Clear. Ugh. First up on the countdown, we've got John Sundell's Swords and Arrows, a turn-based tactics game that one might describe as medieval advanced wars. By balancing army upgrades and aggressive unit production, players raise a nightmarish tide of armored men to crash down upon their opponents' hopes and dreams. And castle. I mean, mostly the castle, though. Swords and Arrows is a lot like Advance Wars, mostly because it's almost exactly like Advance Wars, save that destroying all the opponent's units is nearly impossible due to a rapid production speed and unlimited flow of gold. Combining ranged and melee units with army-wide upgrades like enhanced range and defensive bonuses is key to capturing an opponent's castle, but the UI is still intuitive enough for players of any skill level to pick it up right away. The game even has a handy in-game tutorial and local swap play to help facilitate learning the ropes, teaching you how to capture and hold buildings, create your own maps, or deploy advanced units like catapults and healers. The only real drawback is that many of the features are not yet implemented, and that matches can drag on for almost an hour when neither player is at a clear disadvantage. Still, it's a great tactical game for the platform, and well worth a check out for fans of, Advance Wars. Swords and Arrows is available for 0 DZs and 0 centsies on iOS, though if you're not as advanced at, say, War, you may want to check out our next title. Our next title is Sine Mora from Digital Reality and Grasshopper Manufacture, a shoot-'em-up taking place during 2 separate time periods in a war between the Enki people and the evil Empire. One timeline sees a father seeking revenge for the death of his son, while another follows the last survivors of the Enki race long after they've been wiped out. Heavy stuff. Oh, and you can fire a death laser across the screen. Sine Mora is a shooter's shooter, combining steampunk aesthetics, shifting attack variants, and frantic bullet hell gameplay that combines the best parts of Steel Empire, Ikaruga, and Espeluda. The difficulty gradually scales without being too unfair, adding a lot of options for more intense combat if you're looking for a challenge mid-stage. You're also constantly juggling your bombs, specials, time shifts, and attack types, allowing more strategic players to tune the gameplay to their liking. The soundtrack is by Silent Hill's Akira Yamaoka, the graphics are gorgeous and lively, the platform should be perfect, but the controls are surprisingly clumsy when navigating an iDevice. It works, but only on the easier levels. When the screen moves too fast or the bullet saturation is too high, you'll have a very difficult time dodging, which is what the core gameplay is all about. An update adds new control options, but know that you might still have some issues. Sine Mora is a beautiful game and can be yours for 6 DZ, but those with control issues may want to take a chance on our next title. The last game on our list is Breach and Clear, a squad-based tactical strategy game where you shoot terrorists, yay! You draft a squad, name them like you're setting off on the Oregon Trail, and then instead of going to Oregon, you shoot terrorists, but only in Afghanistan because there aren't any other levels yet. Breach and Clear plays like XCOM Enemy Unknown, with auto attack and without the unit permadeath, focusing on your character's reaction times over raw stats like health or evasion. And despite unintentionally funny options like choosing between a squad of Navy SEALs, Marines, US Special Forces, and Canadian counterterrorism dudes, the game is shockingly fun. By the way, always choose the Canadians. They have the best stats. You can kit out your 4 members with new weapons and camo patterns, 6 different classes, and raise their levels as you go by completing missions and surprising enemies. By selectively hugging cover and strategically turning your sight cone to face new opponents as you move, the game also allows for deeper combat options than a standard RTS. There are hiccups, like when you don't get the drop on an enemy and they are locked into a bizarre shooting animation until either you or they are dead, and the class abilities are all based on rechargeable items you have to buy before missions. But it's a pretty fun pick up and play game where you get to America, or Canada, I guess. I mean, they do have the best stats. Just don't hope for too much content at the moment. Breach and Clear is a whopping 2 DZ for iOS and Android, and is a good buy for the price, unless you hate Canada. But who hates Canada? Nobody, that's who. Maybe Quebec. That's been this week's Polaris Mobile Countdown. Thank you so much for watching. If there was a game that you thought we should have covered on this week's show, let us know in the comment section because we always love to hear what you guys have been playing. Also, if you like and favorite this video, we'll know that you enjoyed it, and if you subscribe, you'll get to watch all sorts of other cool videos we're gonna make in the future.
But as for me, a wise man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. I must stay ever vigilant.